Well, I'm having a happy and healthy start into the new year. I think it's been a while that I woke up at 6:30 on the 1st of January and feeling all nice and fresh. And I made myself a little omelette with fresh spinach from the garden. Ta-da! Actually, this is gonna be my first New Year's project. I have to replant these before they die. So after this delicious breakfast, I'm gonna go to shore and go on the hunt for some plastic containers to plant my plants into. Tide is pretty much all the way out. I think it's gonna go out another hour maybe. So I'm gonna pull my kayak all the way up just so I don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, there's a huge variety of containers to choose from, because this one is the southern side of the island, so a lot of the swell comes in from the south, so most of the plastic ends up here. I found a good bunch, beautiful colors too. It's like a massive New Year's gathering, and they're like flying from one bay to the other, stopping, picking up, going to the next. I've never seen anything like that before. That was like thousands of them. It's mostly, I think, cormorants and some pelicans. Really bizarre. Been 3.5 months now since I put the new anti-fouling from Total Boat on the bottom of Karl, and I'm gonna dive down now and check how it's doing. I haven't really moved the boat much in that time. Mostly it's been sitting at anchor because we were out and about on Joanna for a month, and then we did a little bit of movement but not a lot. And I've already felt the bottom a little bit from the outside. It seems to be that there's no barnacles, but a little bit of like smudge. So I'm gonna dive in now and do some cleaning and see how it looks everywhere. I use these little plugs for my ear so the little critters don't get in. Also, I wear a shirt. It's good for sun protection, but it's also a good additional protection in case, you know, you hit the hull or... And some gloves. I have a beautiful collection of filthy gloves here. And then I'm gonna try and use 2 different things. One a brush and the other one a spatula, which I don't really know where it is, so I need to find that first. It only took 5 minutes. Like I say, wer Ordnung hält, ist nur zu faul zum Suchen. are maybe 2 or 3 little barnacles. You can easily brush it off with the brush, just like one slap of the brush is enough. I don't want to brush it too much because it's blighted, so then it comes up over time. Yeah, pretty happy so far. I am anchored with Karl in the south of Viveros, the island Viveros in the Perlas Islands in Panama, Pacific Panama. And Paul with his Yerba Buena is anchored on the kind of like northeastern side of the island. And some time ago he made a little trail going from the north of the island to the south of the island, which is pretty good because he needs to bring me something today. I found out that I fried my inverter. And yes, this was all my fault because I plugged something in that I wasn't supposed to plug in. It was a bit drawing a bit too much power, and then poof, it went. And then I opened it up to see what was going on, and it seems that one of the capacitors is fried. It's leaking some of the electrolytes, and also it's convex. It's supposed to be concave. But back to the whole Paul thing. Paul is gonna go on to Joanna and dig for a spare inverter that she has on board and that she's gonna lend me until I got some sponsorship deal with Xantrex, and they are sending me some new stuff, so new solar panels and a new 110 volt inverter and a new 220 volt inverter, both of them 2000 watts. So I know, it really sounds staged. It's not. It was a coincidence that this just happened, but it gives me a chance to talk about it. Perfect. Now I have to paddle over to the next bay because I'm anchored next to the bay where the trail comes out that Paul had dug through the island. Looky, careful! Careful! Silly! Paul had brought me Maria's spare inverter from Joanna, and I had brought him a couple of cold beers in return. We had a quick drink together, and of course we had to go for a little trash hunt. I think I might have enough crafting material for the next 2 weeks. And
nice shoes.
look at my pretty shoes! I only found one though.
Well, that's
fine. I think we can make at least 10, 12 baskets out of this. Well, let's chuck this treasure home. I think I'd already told you that my mainsail is not so bueno anymore. This is one of the big tears, which is not so bad, but there's tons of other spots. And I had hoped I would have my new sail from Precision Sails by now, but I don't, and I really want to move tomorrow. It's going to be mainly downwind, but still I just don't want to leave with only the Genoa, because maybe you remember what happened when I left on my first solo sail from Shelter Bay and I didn't have a working main. Yeah, that didn't go over so well. So I'm just gonna fix this real quick. I'm not gonna put too much effort into this, but I'm gonna fix it anyways. It's good to have it as a spare no matter what. So this tear I'm just gonna stitch with Hexenstich. It's called the witch stitch. I don't know. Sometimes it's also good not to rely on the internet, but to have a couple of books on board that can, you know, help you with how to fix things. So yeah, I'm gonna do the witch stitch. So let's see how that goes. Basically what this stitch does is that it pulls the sail together where the tear is. It's not looking pretty, but it does the job. And the good thing, it's a really easy stitch. Basically, you just go from the top into the cut, and then you come out from the bottom, and then you come out on the top again, you go back into the cut, and then out on the other side, and then you keep repeating doing that. And you just have to make sure after each dive you take and you come out, you just pull a little bit on it so the tear gets moved together. So it's fairly straightforward. Et voila! Took maybe 5 minutes? 7? Like patch everywhere. Usually you would open up this seam here and put something below it and then stitch it and then close the seam again. But this is just a quick and dirty, let's get going kind of sail repair. It's really good for underway, really quick repairs. You can even do it whilst the sail is still mounted, and you just, I usually use just a little kitchen board or something, or a piece of wood or whatever you have, and you just put it below, and then you put on the patch and just make sure it sticks nicely. Okay, I'm gonna stop touching it now because everywhere I touch it, another tear comes up. Here. It's just old. There's another one. Ah, and another one. Okay, I'll do one more patch. One more patch. I'm doing 4 knots, downwind, wing on wing. Beautiful. But more about that next week.